Good morning, Altheans. Good morning. Come on in, take a seat. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Check to make sure your neighbor's wearing green. If they're not, give them a hug or a high five. Don't pinch them. That's not how we do things at Althea. Come on in, take a seat. Good morning, Altheans. I've got a few announcements. Most of these are on the back of your program, in case you forget. And all of these are also on our website, okay? Especially for tickets and stuff. All right, I'll start with Community Connections. We do it every Thursday, 11 a.m. on Zoom, led by the lovely Kathy Humphreys. We do still need a lot of volunteers in the kitchen, so please help out. There is a sign-up sheet up in the dining hall. We need your help, especially for Easter Sunday. Coming up, big lunch means big cleanup, so help out. All right, every Sunday we have a prayer partner. Today's prayer partner is the lovely Kendara Laurel. You'll see her giving the opening prayer, and she will be after in Darwin's Den down this hallway to give one-on-one prayers if you would like that support. If you are interested in becoming a member here at Althea, please see Ricky Stanton, who you will see on the piano later, Bob Bearcall, who you will see doing the closing prayer later, or Reverend Christina, who is coming up next. And speaking of membership, next Sunday is the annual general meeting for all members. This is part of the service. There will be no lunch because it will be a meeting. All right, there will be coffee and cakes afterwards, though. All right, the board will share the state of Althea. If you're interested in becoming a board member, that is a possibility at the meeting. Katie Kurtz, Judy Fott, and Reverend Christina are on the nominating committee. To be nominated, you need to be a current active member. You need to give your consent, of course, to be nominated. You need to be knowledgeable about New Thought and about the history of Althea, and be committed to a spiritual life, of course. All right, so mark your calendar. Next Sunday, the annual general meeting. On April 7th, we're going to have this awesome event with a psychic and a medium. Heather, who is the medium, and Rick Finbow, the psychic, are going to lead an afternoon dedicated to helping you understand all the support that surrounds you and providing clarity and purpose in life. Tickets for this event are $33. They are on the website. This should also be on the back of your program if you're interested. Don't miss out on the opportunity to benefit from the experience and deepen your spiritual journey. All right, next up, we are trying to grow our YouTube channel, which reminds me, silence your phones. But while you're on your phone, you might want to go to YouTube real quick and subscribe. We need more subscribers. And Easter is just around the corner. It's in 2 weekends. It's March 31st. Bring a friend or two. Let's pack the house. The theme this year is Resurrect the Light Within. And the Queen City Jazz Band will be joining us once again for some toe-tapping tunes. It'll be family-friendly. There will be lunch afterwards and an Easter egg hunt for the kids. They'll love it. All right, then back to the annual general meeting. Right after the general meeting at 2 p.m., there will be a gong bath here in this sacred space. That is from 2 to 3 p.m. There will be sacred instruments like the gong. This is to venture beyond your beta waking state. Tickets can be purchased on the website. All right, see me if you have any questions afterwards. Let's get started. This is Reverend Christina coming up next.
Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Ooh, I love the Irish word. So great to see everyone here. Welcome to Althea. Those of you online and later on YouTube, thank you for being here. Always go to altheacenter.org to know more about us. Althea sits on beautiful holy land of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute Nation. Beautiful people. And as they always said, there's gold in them there hills. And I see that also as abundance and prosperity during this beautiful month. And during this time of St. Patrick's Day and so many other things, such as International Women's Month. And Althea believes in oneness, oneness of all. We practice what we preach. We stand in oneness. We celebrate all diversity. We are not trying to conform or shift anyone's way of their old beliefs or religions, but we welcome this new thought, a new way of being, a new way of feeling, as this building was created in 1922 by 4 powerful women to open us up. And even though at that time there was not diversity celebrated, we celebrate it now and have been for many, many years. And we are not ignoring all the atrocities that are happening all over the planet, but we're holding the light of oneness, love, truth, harmony, and wisdom. And now I'd like to welcome anyone who is a first-timer here. Feel free to raise your hand. We have a gift. Yes, don't be shy. And we also have free lunch for you. So our food here is really good. Come join us for community. And thank you for being here. Anyone online, please put first time watching on Facebook or send us an email through altheacenter.org. And now, the opening prayer through the magical. Yeah, that's all right. Just go around. Kandara is very magical, very powerful. A beautiful healer, intuitive herself, and powerful prayer. Thank you, Kandara.
Dear God, this is serious, folks. We come before you with humble hearts, seeking your guidance and blessings on the topic of connection and love. And we ask for your grace to deepen our connections with one another and to strengthen the bond of love that unites us. Help us to see beyond our differences and to recognize the inherent beauty in each and every one of your children. Let us approach one another with kindness, compassion, and understanding, seeking to build bridges instead of walls. We pray for the restoration of fractured relationships, for healing of wounds caused by misunderstandings and hurtful words. May your love through us flow, bringing reconciliation and forgiveness where it is needed. Guide us in creating meaningful and authentic connections with those around us, whether it be family, friends, or strangers. Help us to show love in both big and small ways, through simple acts of kindness and genuine care for others. And as we strive to foster love and connection in our own lives, may we also be your instruments of peace in a world that is in desperate need of your love. Strengthen our bonds with you and let your love overflow into the world through us. And so be it.
Top of the morning to you. I love, there's gold in them thar hills. I love that. There really is. If you'd like to, I encourage you to stand up and join us in Althea's statement of being. God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. We are individualized expressions of God and are ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. We are a family. You are the face of God.
Thank you, Chris. And I'm excited today. We have Andrea Love. And yes, that's her real name. Her voice is beautiful. She took a hiatus for some self-care. And she's the director of Love Music Studios and a passionate advocate for transformative music of power. Andrea's dedication to nurturing talent, fostering community, and exploring the neuroscience of music is truly inspiring. As a vocal instructor, music educator, and creative ambassador, Andrea empowers individuals to find their voices and uses music to promote healing and connection. Her expertise spans traditional Irish music, composing music for TV and film. Behind her musical pursuits, Andrea is an avid outdoor enthusiast and adventurer. Today we gather to celebrate Andrea's return, with joy in her music that she brings to our hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Andrea Love.
Be near to me, be near to me, when the world feels crazy and I can't see. Be near to me, hold my hand, hold my hand, give me solid ground instead of sinking sand. Won't you hold my hand? I'll run to you, I'll run to you, when I don't know what else to do. Let me run to you. Know my heart, know my heart. I wanna see you in the deepest part. Won't you know my heart? Sing over me, sing over me. May your song of life sing my soul free. Sing to me, be near to me, be near to me, when the world feels crazy and I can't see. Be near to me, when the world feels crazy and I can't see. Be near to me.
Good morning. The first reading is from Joseph Murphy, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I like money. I love it. I use it wisely, constructively, and judiciously. Money is constantly circulating in my life. I release it with joy, and it returns to me multiplied in a wonderful way. It is good and very good. Money flows to me in avalanches of abundance. I use it for good only, and I am grateful for my good and for the riches of my mind. The second reading is from Ernest Holmes, divine science minister and founder of religious science. There is power for good in the universe, and we use it. All the universe operates through the law of cause and effect. There is only one mind. The mind we use is the mind of all. God's first law is order. We discover and use laws and principles. We do not create them. The universe is abundant. No one and no thing can influence our consciousness unless we allow it.
Unless we allow it. This month, as I said before, I wanted to call it March Money Madness, to help shift everybody's false beliefs and demystify money. Melinda, my dear friend, last week said it took a whole lot of money to keep Gandhi poor, because Gandhi did have an entourage. And Gandhi's work is still alive and well on this planet. However, he had to feed his entourage and take care of them and nurture them. He was a giver. And I know money triggers people. One of the second reasons why a lot of people get divorced. One is infidelity, two is money. It's an energetic pull. And the week before that, I spoke about demystifying money and stop making others wrong and sharing my own stories of being impoverished till I came into these teachings. Back to these teachings, because you've heard the words New Thought. And in the 70s, it was called New Age. And I realized it's not about the new. It goes back to Hermetic texts. It goes back to Egyptology. They called it New Thought because it was about forming a new thought in your mind, rewiring your brain. I believe our society and old societies did not want us to believe that we had the power to shift our consciousness. I will say this, we have lower thought forms. Some people say bad people that do things with money and they use it. But we get to use it for good. We get to shift that. We get to shift that without making judgment. Because no matter how much we may poo-poo is a spiritual word, poo-poo other people for being billionaires and millionaires, guess what? That does not put money in your pocketbook. I tried it. It didn't work. What they did was, they practiced the law that's available to all of us. So I came up, it's not luck, it's the law. There are some people in my family that are no longer on the planet that were gamblers, and I'm talking big-time gamblers. My grandpa did interesting things with money. He was an atheist. Had that in the family, too. That was fun. And he would gamble, and sometimes he would win and save, and sometimes he would win and just keep going. We all know that's a problem. It's still a problem today when you see sports betting. But if I go way back to my great-grandma Bella, I was not here on the planet, but she helped raise my mother and my aunt. In 1945, my mom was 10 years old. And on Wednesdays, my great-grandma Bella, who was feisty, half Cherokee Indian, Irish, I do have Irish in me, and black. They were running numbers. So I come from a family of running numbers. Very creative bunch I come from. And some of the neighborhood people said she was lucky. And my mom told me, Grandma Bella said, it's not luck. It's the way it works. Now, she didn't know what it was. But she'd write down the numbers, and my mom would drop off the numbers at some little grocery store in the 40s in New Orleans, Louisiana. Thursday morning, she's making breakfast, tell my mom and my aunt, go get my money. She never looked. She always won $300 to $1,000 a week. This is the 1940s, after the Depression. In New Orleans, filled with all kind of interesting energies. That's how she paid the bills. She always said, just go get my money. She always expected it. So I asked my mom this story a long time ago. She said she always said money's always available to me. She was not aware of these teachings, even though it existed. Had no clue. And then when I think about my grandpa, because I watched him. The lottery was illegal when I was growing up in the 1980s. I saw the number tickets and the punch holes. And he was like, hey, what's this number? I don't know if you hung around older people like that. If they, like, what time was the clock say? My grandpa would play those numbers. My grandpa died when I was 18. He only had a 4th grade education, descendant of enslaved people. He had a will written out. I didn't think there was anything in that bank account. There was $50,000 in that bank account, and I still have his gold jewelry. So my mom's like, well, I guess he didn't blow all his money. But he always expected to win. And one day I asked him, is it Lady Luck? He said, He said, well, think of Lady Luck as an angel. I think she works for everyone. But it's not luck. Because I used to say someone was lucky if they did the same job I did and made more money. No, I realized they're practicing the law. Now, how many of you have heard of the law of attraction? It's nearly everyone. That became big. Thank you, Oprah, for bringing that to the world. But that's one of 12 universal laws, according to Hermetic texts, the Emerald Tablets, the Kabbalion. Hermes, they believe Hermes and Thoth were one. As above, so below, so above. It's called the law of correspondence. That precedes the law of attraction. Now, the women that founded this beautiful building, they were reading about this. The Transcendental Movement was started in the late 1700s. But what they all did, where Ernest Holmes came from, where Reverend Ike came from, when Dr. Johnny Coleman, whose church is still in Chicago, doing the right thing, it's not new. This is old. When the documentary The Secret came out, I get why Rhonda Byrne called it The Secret. It was kept from us. Because if you look at traditional religion, it did teach to beg and beseech and make others wrong, or, well, the money's the root of all evil. No, that's a control mechanism. I said 2 weeks ago, I know people who are broke and they do really bad things. Money exposes your attributes and your defaults. I will continue to say that. If you are selfish without money, you're going to be selfish if you win the lottery. The reason, how come so many people, when they win those big Powerballs, 50%, that's a statistical fact, lose all the money. I realize something. It's their consciousness. If you don't feel worthy, or if you're not in the right place, it runs from you. Money is a frequency. And in the Hermetic text, the 21 laws, like the law of gravity, it works. It works for all of us. It doesn't care if you're black, white, rich or poor, a good person or a bad person. There are people that have utilized the law. Steven Spielberg's mother, a lot of people don't know this, is deeply into Kabbalahism. They believe she was a Kabbalah high priestess. She used to do readings for him when he was a child. She fostered him. But you know what? He had a power belief. Steven Spielberg is not what we would call from money. And he did a lot of things from his heart. Keanu Reeves, who's worth over $300 million, Matrix fan, lives in a small apartment. He goes and gives money out when he's not working daily to the homeless people. If we take this whole secret of money out of the equation, we can shift things, and we don't have to wait for our government to do it and the bureaucracy to do it. I would love to go buy an apartment building and start building community. And guess what? It takes what? Money. So as I say this to you, I also say this to myself, because I know I'm called for things that's going to take abundance. And guess what I got to use, y'all? The law. The law of correspondence. Because what we think within is what we get out. If we continue to live in fear and doubt and worry, give yourself a break from it. If you spend more time in fear than prayer and meditation, guess what you're going to get? The law of correspondence is going to hit you right in the face with it. Some people call it the spiritual 2x4. I love this book, The Emerald Tablets and the Kabbalion. I love Egyptology because they got it, and I do believe the Druids and the Celtics, they also got it. You've heard the term the luck of the Irish. And that term came from the miners that found gold. But what they didn't take into account, some scientists said it wasn't luck, it was intelligence, and it was belief. They were using the law. Now, I do believe, and I've said this for myself, because I like to go to Vegas every now and then. And I've been going to Black Hawk in a while. But sometimes I used to say Lady Luck is on my side, and then I changed it to Lady Law. The laws of the universe are on my side. I win. I come from a gambling family. I win, but it's not that much. Might be $50 or $100. It's fun, but I get to feel in the frequency of it. When I am worried, I guarantee you, the universe will give you something more to worry about. To be in fear. It will stress you out. And guess what? The only common denominator is us. Any issues you have in life, the common denominator is you. We're called to work on ourselves. And not be so concerned with that person didn't, and that person didn't pay their taxes, and that person owes me money. I want to talk about that for a minute. I have people that I have given more money than I could afford to help them out. I love them with my whole heart. Some family members, some are friends, which caused me into more debt because I did come up in a family that were overgivers as well. Every time I got money, I used to feel guilty, any form of money. I'm not talking about millions. I'm just talking like a couple of thousand. So I would feel bad because I got triggered from being homeless a long time ago. Well, let me help them, and they're going to pay me back. Guess what? They never paid me back. You want to learn a lesson in forgiveness. Because then I had to look at myself. And my mom said one day, she's like, honey, this is my fault. I have a problem. Every time I get money, I give it away, and you saw it. I had guilt. Even if I got an extra $1,000, I had guilt. And some of these people never paid me back, and then I reminded myself, and this is from Scripture, God will replace what the locusts have eaten. My ex-husband owes me money. Don't get me started on how much. But then I had to change that one day. No, it's the universe, because no one really owns anything. When we die, we're not taking this with us. The old phrase is not a U-Haul truck behind a hearse. So it's all everyone's money. It's all of it. And we all get to tap into it. There's an abundant universe. We just saw abundance in Colorado, 3.5 feet of snow at my house. Every snowflake is individualized, unique like us, even though we are all in the oneness. The law of correspondence, our feelings, emotions, expectations. Expectation equals manifestation. That's my own little concept. I expect good. I had to change that. One of the gifts of me growing up in a very interesting, doubt-filled, fearful family is that I chose it and I get to practice it every day. Even when the gas prices go up, every day. Even when COVID happened, and on my speaking gigs, whoop, thousands of dollars went. And I didn't know. I was like, oh, financial dynamic is changing. Coaching practitioner sessions gone. A lot of people I know lost their jobs, or they were scared. They were in fear, so they didn't think of, hey, I still need support. And I honored where they were, because I was also dealing with a mother that I knew was passing during COVID. And all this other stuff. I mean, I went in some old patterns, and then one day I'm like, okay, they were talking about people getting grants and people getting loans, and I'm like, well, let me check into this. And I went downstairs and also into the heart of my own consciousness called meditation, which is not why it's necessary, because it was so much about death and fear on the media or even from your own friends and your own family and phone calls. I had to take a moment. And one day I turned on the news for inspiration. Yes, dare I say inspiration. It's like, I'm going to find something good here. Because I started thinking when my grandmother said, during the Depression, people manifested money. Some of those people weren't that nice, but they did use the law. They did do that. So I was like, okay, what's available? And then it was on the news about grants for people that were one employee, me, and had their own LLC. So I did all the paperwork. Some of my friends said, you're not getting that. I'm like, I just like, yeah, talk to you later. I started saying, I'm expecting my good. It may not come for this, but it will come. Yes, I got a grant for $18,000. Yes, I got money from ministerial school, which is can hit the pocketbook. Money showed up without me working hard for it. And what I realized, I was utilizing the law. No matter what. I know someone who's a multimillionaire got $1 million grant. Yes, I was triggered, but he used the law. And by the way, this man's giving. Well, I later found out what he gave and was starting to buy people food in the Evergreen and in the mountains that ran out of money. So, and he didn't lay off one employee, and when he sold his business, he gave them huge percentages and paychecks. And I know he did more than that because he was blushing. He wouldn't tell me anything else. He just told me enough. He used that law of correspondence because I said, what made you think you were going to get it? They know you own a couple of dealerships. He's like, I grew up poor. I expect goodness because he said, I realized I paid my dues. That's what he said for him. But he kept it going. That's the law of correspondence. It's a feeling. It's a feeling. And I believe the women that created this facility, it was a feeling. They didn't know. They traveled across country, went to California, landed in Pueblo, came here. It's a feeling. They knew and they listened. Where are we not listening? Let's utilize the law. It is working 24/7, 7 days a week, like the law of gravity. Someone once told me I don't believe in these laws. I'm like, drop a pen, and they did. Said, that's gravity. So that's the same thing. It does work. 90% of America's millionaires and billionaires came for what we would call nothing. They used the laws. They used their skill set. Now, I'm not saying just sit there and own and meditate. I believe in meditation retreats, but you still got to treat and move your feet. You got to keep things going. But they also practice the laws as a belief system. Have you ever had something that happened so good in your life, but before it happened, you felt it? That you felt a belief and a knowing? Well, guess what? You were using that law of correspondence, because that knowingness is what helped it manifest. I believe we're all musicians and all magicians, because we make music also with the law. It's the language of spirit. We're pure energy frequencies. It's time for us to really focus on that law of correspondence. I love Dr. Emoto. He wrote the book, The Hidden Messages of Water. So when we feel and speak certain words, there's water crystals, obviously, in our body. So part of affirmation, affirmative prayer is, even if you don't feel it, I've done it. I've done it when I've been broke. I am abundant. I am prosperous. The universe is on my side. I am provided for. And to let go of that freaking how. Let it go. Some people do win the money through the lottery. Yeah, go buy a ticket. You never know. I've won $1,000 from a lottery ticket. You never know. But that's not the only way. Be open to unexpected ways of how that my own natural energy yield shows up. Be open to it. Be fluid to it. Remember when we were kids? We believed in possibilities. We're still those children of the divine. Believe in those possibilities. Be those possibilities. We get to change the game. Michael Hyatt's a wonderful entrepreneur writer. And he says in one of his new books, entrepreneurs get to change the world. Now, I'm not saying go quit your job or whatever, but I believe there's this gift in all of us. As the young kids say, side gigs. We have so many different facets to us. There are young children that invested like in GameStop that are now millionaires. They opened to the possibility during the shutdown. That's using the law of correspondence. What are we feeling into? Are you feeling into fear? For the next part of our month, or even going into April, no matter what happens on the planet, even when negativity and awful things show up, give yourself a break and say, how am I feeling? It's okay to cry. It's okay to be sad, man, and outright pissed off, dare I say it, but not sit in it. Because when you're sitting in it, the laws of the universe are feeling you, and it will give you more to what to be pissed off about. We need to utilize this. It's always working. And we get to choose. Spirit gave us free will. Like I said before, it's not a new thought. Form a new thought. Form it. This stuff works. I know people have healed themselves of cancer physically because they were feeling into it, even when they have a challenge. I'm not saying ignore pain or ignore your bank account or ignore what shows up, but also don't sit in it. It's like a stew. It gets worse. But how about you stew on possibility and watch something fun on TV? And even sit back and say, boy, if I had $1 million, I would do this. Or if I had an extra $50,000, I could do this. Because there's a lot of people giving in the world, and I want to be part of that. I've been on the other side. I know what it's like to be broke. And by the way, there's a difference between broke and poor. Poor is a state of consciousness. Broke is only temporary. Money is a currency. There's a lot of people giving. And I think it's time that we all give to ourselves as well by utilizing these laws. And they're available to us all the time. And what helps you also get there is prayer and meditation. I know a lot of people get tired saying that, but hey, if you're spending more time arguing about what's wrong in the world instead of saying what's right and what's possible, you're going to keep seeing what's wrong. When we shift ourselves, we shift the world. It's an inside job. It always has been. We are star seeds. And I believe that. Many scholars, some who don't even believe there is what we would call God, a universal field, that we are stardust. I believe that. I believe there is a universal field that's in us, as us. And we get to use the universal laws or the 12 principles, whatever you want to call them. Just as the law of gravity is working right now, the law of correspondence, hence the law of attraction, is working right now. You do get what you think, but you also get what you feel. Pay attention to your feelings. I believe exercises like yoga, when we have the gong bath here, or even our beautiful altar here. That altar that lovely Barbara sets up in Serona every Sunday represents holding a space of peace where you can bring your item here. And it's prayed and loved on. That's an energy and a frequency you get to bring home. Some people are triggered by the word church. Church is actually within thyself. We are the temple of the living Spirit. It's us. We come in community, yes, but what you do in the rest of the week? What are you corresponding with? Are we corresponding with light, love, truth, abundance, and wholeness, and oneness, that even if someone triggers you, you could say, they are one with me. That's how you know you're moving in a frequency. If you're triggered by money and abundance, there is much work to do. Ask yourself, how come? If you're in fear, ask yourself, how come? Yourself, your higher self, knows what to do. So with that, we invite everyone, if you're willing, and those of you online, I say a small prayer so we can get into this vibrational frequency of the laws of the universe that are available to us. For I know there's one light, one truth, one power, one presence, that which is God, that harmony, that divine elemental force that we are all connected to and unified with in so many ways, not only with the divine currency of the golden thread of harmonic life, of harmony and peace and joy. There's one field of love and light. I know, I sense this. I feel into it that everyone in this room and everyone online is aligned with those universal laws, and we get to utilize them in the oneness to help heal the planet of any lack or limitation. That our hearts are opening into the oneness, into the divine field of that oneness. For we are all one in that light. And I'm grateful for everyone's presence. I'm grateful for this space. I'm grateful for Mother Earth. I'm grateful for the laws of the universe as they work for us in correspondence with us in collaboration. For we are a healing presence for ourselves, our family, the planet, and the universal field. I release this into the divine law, where it cannot return void, where it is done and complete. And so it is. Amen.
Oh, the back of the winter is broken, and light lingers long by the door, and the seeds of the summer have spoken, in gowans that bloom on the shore. By night and day we'll sport and we'll play and delight, as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away. We follow the heron home. In the darkness we cradled our sorrow and stoked all our fires with fear. Now these bones that lie empty and hollow are ready for gladness to cheer. By night and day we'll sport and we'll play and delight, as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away. We follow the heron home. So long may you sing of the salmon, the snow-scented sands of your home, while the north wind delivers his sermon of ice and salt water and stone. By night and day we'll sport and we'll play and delight, as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away. We follow the heron home. By night and day we'll sport and we'll play and delight, as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away. We follow the heron home. We follow the heron home. We follow the heron home. Thank you.
Beautiful, Andrea. Thank you. And now it's a time of offering, a divine circulation. Our ushers will be coming up. And we also, in this time of giving, you may give online at altheacenter.org. And on the back of your program, there is a QR code to scan. Daryl, we have the QR code up. You can also scan that, and it will go directly to your phone like magic. And now I ask everyone, you could take your gift or tie it in your hand. Also know everything will be circulated back to you, and hold in your heart, even online. If you're doing it online, just hold energy and intention, knowing that everything that is given is always replaced. And now together, The universe provides all that I need and all that I give. With great joy, I share my prosperity, planting seeds for a world I'm helping manifest. And so it is. Amen. And we also have a dip jar. Speaking of Vegas earlier, it's $10 dips. It's on the back cabinet and it lights up. I see like a little Christmas tree, like a little party time. And everything that you give does support our center. Some of you all know that our boiler took a big vacation and we had to get new parts and repairs. So that money is put to good, prosperous use. Also, Althea supports many, many other communities and nonprofit organizations. And thank you. And now is also a time of community. It's the prayers for the people. If you have a prayer request, we ask first names only, because this is on YouTube and on Facebook, and to keep it sacred and simple and knowing it's held, even if you want to celebrate something. When you get in that energy of like, wow, all this good stuff is happening, you want to keep that energy flowing. It also gives others hope and faith. So anyone has any prayer requests?
I have a prayer request for my very dear friend who was my 35th birthday present, and he's suffering with tinnitus, so help for him.
Yes. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chadwick. I'm back from New York City.
Hi, Chadwick. Welcome
I'm glad
back.
thank you. I don't need to go into details about everything that happened. However, I'm requesting for myself some clarity and direction, and some breakthroughs, to my mind, to where I'm going to go in my next steps with my life and direction to bring prosperity and make a difference in the world.
Thank you. And welcome back.
Hello, I'm Shauna. I'm getting injections put into my back on the 29th, so I just like some prayers for that to hopefully cure whatever's wrong with my back.
Okay. So
Hello, my name is Adam. My father had been struggling with cancer, and I brought this as a prayer request, and he's gone through treatments and is in remission. So I'm really joyful about that. There's been a lot of healing in my family emotionally. I'm very grateful for him.
congratulations, Adam. Thank you. We'll keep holding him in prayer. Anyone upstairs in the heavens? Thank you. Okay then. Thank you. And also, if you want a deeper prayer time, Kandara we meeting in Darwin's Den? Are you meeting in Darwin's Den? If you like an affirmative prayer that she will hold for you, and you get to experience that it is a deeper diving to a prayer request, that she will hold that light. Even when sometimes we don't feel it, she will hold that truth. And you may also do prayer requests online at altheacenter.org. And now our community song. Thank you, Andrea, for blessing us. And you guys have some corned beef and cabbage today, if you're into that. Thank you, Andrea.
All right. I would love to invite you guys to sing this with me. If you have never heard it before, that's okay. It's a pretty easy melody to pick up, so just listen, and when you're comfortable, join in. And the words are up above, behind me. So, Let the life I lead speak for me. Let the life I lead speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing more to say, let the life I lead speak for me. Let the friends I have speak for me. Let the friends I have speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing more to say, let the friends I have speak for me. Let the work I do speak for me. Let the work I do speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing more to say, let the work I do speak for me. Let the love I give speak for me. Let the love I give speak for me. When I'm lying in my grave and there's nothing more to say, let the love I give speak for me. Thank you.
All righty. Grab a hand and get ready to shout it out. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. Very good. It is that thing called life. I am the flow of abundance. The flow of abundance is in me and around me. I feel it. I know it. And I am it. And so it is.